you are already signaling to the girl that you are beneath her. Everyone knows that child right away, because sex now is never off the table, which eliminates the part where women play against their own interest. Like, a woman left on her own is a victim of her own hypergamy. What if I sleep with him and then he ghosts me later? Yes, sex before the relationship. I really meant what I said in the title. Modern relationships are a ticking bomb. It isn't a matter of will it end, but when and why, and probably who will end it. As the modern relationship are an ego clash, everyone is trying to feed their ego with what they're missing. Whether it's validation, security, it's purely like in a transactional manner. If relationship by its older definition is what you seek, like founding a family, remaining together through thick and thin, I'm going to give you the most controversial advice ever. Okay, you start with sex. And here's why. One essential contributor to the success of a relationship is the right power dynamic between the couple. And it is set with a clear dominance of the man over the woman, at least in the most important matters. And if you believe like in a genderless equality, like please dislike the video and leave, as you don't deserve to be listening to me. Alright. The man must establish dominance so he can guide the relationship to its best, while a woman would benefit from the security provided while contributing with like cuteness, spontaneity, and all the female stuff. And if you doubt the man's ability to guide, then find another one, okay? You don't expect something from someone who is not willing to give it. Now that we agree on that somehow, what is the best way to establish that dominance? Well, by beating the shit out of women. Please don't do that. Women are gentle, fragile creatures. You show them physical superiority by engaging in sexual intercourse. Think about it. The woman is like bent over or her legs are open, completely vulnerable, and the man holds his pointing thing and like penetrates her. The act itself portrays the dynamics. Like, man, he picks up the woman, puts her in the right position. I mean, he of course can accommodate her desire and like meets her needs. That's very important, but it takes place within the frame of the man. Now, what do a lot of gurus like Jordan Peterson like command? And ironically, some form of arranged marriages.
I have to add this section. I thought it would be easy for me to find someone like Jordan Peterson discussing arranged marriage directly, so I'm gonna assume that every time he talks about traditional relationship, he's kinda alluding to some family intervention. Basically, a more westernized version of the arranged marriage, which probably falls under these three steps: either selected by family, selected like through family, like facilitated by the family, or at least approved by the family. I will be talking more about what I think happens in the MENA region and India, the kind of arranged marriage where the couple basically meets the day of the wedding. Okay, going back to the video, if you're enjoying, like and subscribe.
But here's when I drift away from that and I apply my own twist. There is a lot of aspects in this particular way of meeting new people, but it is never discussed, which is you have sex before you even establish a relationship. Basically, the opposite of the female dating coaches preach, like secure the relationship before the sex. Like, honestly, dear one woman who is watching my videos, if you're honest with yourself, every man you made go through hoops before the sex, either he lost interest or you did. Why? Because if he was a great man, you would be so attracted to him, you wouldn't be able to hold yourself from jumping his bones the second the opportunity presents itself. Unless like you're a virgin or like very religious, which let's face it, if you ended up here, you're most likely neither. On the other hand, the only men willing to jump through hoops, they're less than what the woman desires to begin with. So it is like over before it even started case. Now, we face like the biggest question, the elephant in the room. What if I sleep with him and then he ghosts me later? Okay, maybe like she's afraid of like one night stands. If lucky, like she gets a couple of weeks or months. The answer is very simple. If he isn't excited about being with you and remain with you after he have slept with you, you are shooting too high. You are playing out of your league. You selected a 7 when you were a 4. Of course, such a guy would bounce. I mean, he was having a bad spell and you helped him bounce out of it. He never would have considered you a long term, like, unless you were compensating him in ways I'm sure you don't want to do. Basically, sleep with your own looks match. If the man you gave yourself leaves you, that's because you chose a man who can allow himself to do so, aka a man who can get another you whenever he wishes. I'm a man, and I guarantee you, if a man couldn't replace you easily, he's sticking around, okay? He's doing everything so you also stick around. And give him, more of that candy. Every man can confirm down in the comments. If a man replaces you, it is because he can, and if you slept with a man and he left you, it is because you chose that man. You can never put this blame on men. There are a lot of men who would never do that, mainly because they can't, and if you stop looking at it if it's a bad thing, then maybe you can finally settle and get what you want. I mean, assuming that's what you want. That's how I started the question. Now I know you're all men watching and wondering why the F is he talking to women. Look, guys, I just had this idea when I thought of traditional marriage back home, and where the man is greeted in the city center and walks home in festive atmosphere all around, and the girl is usually virgin, waiting in their new house, scared, heart beating, not knowing what to expect. It is technically more chances of success than the Western version of union. But I'm gonna be honest here, there is a huge argument against me here, and that is traditional settings, aka the arranged marriage kind. Usually the parents choose for their daughter, which eliminates the part where women play against their own interest. A woman left on her own is a victim of her own hypergamy. Ironically, her survival instincts will ensure that she dies alone, her corpse eaten by her cats. But let's put that aside for a while and look how cringe the whole concept of dating is. You're talking to a girl you want to sleep with. Everyone knows that you want to sleep there. Her friends, the people sitting next to you, the coffee place, the barista, and his mother. Yet you all pretend and you ask each other questions and talk and walk and text. Most likely you're never gonna end up together. Statistically, you're not gonna end up together, okay? And by entertaining this dating model as a man, you are already signaling to the girl that you are beneath her. Everyone knows that Chad fucks right away. So if you're not moving fast with the girl, it definitely feels like she's settling down, and consequently she loses interest in you. And let's say you're actually looks matched and you go down this route, you are in her territory. You are conversing, power playing, which aligns so much with the female nature. She brings you down to her field and then beats you with the experience. While if you had the opportunity to dig her down, show her position, see her naked, enjoy her body, see her in all her vulnerabilities, and you have demonstrated your physical ability, it will be more natural for you as a man to act right. You can tell her to shut up when she's being annoying. You can leave the room if she's being inconsiderate. You'll basically act more like your grandfather and less like a modern simp. Because sex now is never off the table. There isn't a reason to walk on eggshells because you are result dependent. You don't have to. You can have normal dynamics that stood the test of time and gave us generation after generation. That eventually led to the BS we have to deal with right now. For example, the women putting out, look, I'm a man, okay? And even I get the ick when someone uses the verb put out. What is there to put out? Aren't women supposed to want men? Aren't they supposed to enjoy the sexual experience? Please stop normalizing this dead bedroom vocabulary. It's cringe as hell. Look, in the end, I'm not trying to change anything in the society, okay? This was just a rant. I hope you find it interesting and entertaining to listen to. I wish you have a decent weekend. Subscribe to the channel. Help me reach monetization, 1,000 subscribers. And in return, I will invest in making more and longer videos. Thank you.